Good morning, or at least it's morning where I am now. My name is Emily Townsend, and I'm here to help you practice for the Region 20 Concert Orchestra-Viola audition that's coming up at the end of October. So get your packets out. Let's tune first. So let's tune, and if you have a tuner, feel free to use it now, or if you don't, try to match my strings as best you can. Let's start with A. And remember, when we tune, we try to use long, smooth bows. Good. Did you match mine or use your tuner? Let's go to D. My favorite, C. Okay, now that we're tuned, we're ready to practice. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at the scale sheet. I am going to go through each of these scales one by one and check the link in the description for this video to find which scale you want to work on that day. You don't have to play through all of them. It'd be great if you did play through all of them every day, but I know that sometimes you can't. So just find the one that you're going to work on that day and let's go. So here's C major. Now, remember, for C major, this is our 2-octave scale. And we have 2 different finger patterns that we need to know. Okay, we have our first finger pattern where 2 and 3 touch. We're going to use this finger pattern on the C and the G strings. Remember, on the D and the A strings, though, we switch to a low 2 finger pattern where our first and second fingers are touching, or there's a half step between our first and second fingers. Let's practice our finger patterns first. On the D string and the A string, we're going to practice that low 2 finger pattern, and that was Shiner that just walked past, so he's going to help us today with our practicing. I'm going to put my metronome on 60, and we're going to do those finger patterns on the D and the A string. If you have lessons with me, you know how I like to do them, but if you were just tuning in for help with the auditions, I'm going to do half notes first, then quarter notes, then eighth notes, all separate bows. You'll get into it. You'll understand. Just turning my metronome on. And now we're ready to start 2. Remember, we're going to start on the D string, low 2 finger pattern. Here we go. Let's go to the A string. We're going to do the same thing. Ready? Here we go. Two quarter notes. Now, turn my metronome off. Let's do our 2 and 3 touching finger pattern on the C and the G strings. Ready? We're going to do the G string first and then the C string. So 2 and 3 are touching now. 1, 2, G string. remember, as we go to the lower strings, we're going to use more weight and less bow actually. For the eighth notes especially, should only be using a little bit of bow, should be feeling ooey gooey in the string. Let's do C string, 2 and 3 fingers touching. 2, here we go. Very nice. And now we're ready to play our C major 2-octave scale. We're going to play this scale as it's written on your packet, so make sure you're looking at it. We are going to play half notes first, and then we're going to go and play it as it's written with the proper tempo, okay? So my metronome is going to be set on 60 still. We're going to be doing half notes first. So that means that every single note, no matter what the rhythm is written on the page, we're going to play each note for 2 beats, okay? We're not going to repeat the top note, okay? Here we go. 1, 2, and here we go. Back down, use 4, Now, let's try it a little faster, and let's do it with the proper rhythm. Okay, so for the rhythm that we have, there's always going to be a half note on your C. So let's take a second now and find all those C's. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 C's you're going to play that are going to have 2 beats each. So the first one is on the C string. Where's the next one? The G string. 3rd finger. And then we have to go to the A string, right? That's our top C. And then back. So whenever you play one of those notes, remember it's going to be 2 beats. Everything else is just a quarter note or 1 beat. Okay, this is 90. This is the tempo marking that they've got on the sheet, okay? If you can't play it this fast right now, that's okay. Keep practicing it slow. 1, 2, 1, 2, here we go. Right, so you should be able now to play your C major 2-octave scale. Let's move on. Now, this is F major. F major is only 1 octave, okay? Now look at the beginning of the line here. You have a flat right next to your alto clef sign. That is your key signature, okay? This will tell you what accidentals you're going to be using. You should always look at your clef, your time signature, and your key signature, which are all located on the left side of the very first line, okay? So here we have 1 flat, it's a B flat. So we're gonna be using a low 2 finger pattern on the G string. 1 and 2 are gonna touch, and we're also gonna use a low 2 finger pattern on the D string. 1 and 2 are gonna touch, okay? So let's practice the low 2 finger patterns on the G and the D strings, okay? I'm gonna get my metronome set on 60 beats per minute. And if you're just tuning in for this scale in particular, remember for finger patterns, we always practice half notes, 2 beats each, quarter notes, 1 beat each, and then eighth notes where there's 2 sounds in 1 beat, okay? All separate bows. You'll figure it out. We're gonna start on the G string. 1, 2, low 2, and let's go to the D string now. Same finger pattern, low 2, ready, here we go. And now your hand is ready for F major. Now, remember, we do start on the C string though, so we do play that third finger F first. Let's do half notes on the scale first. So now look at your sheet, find F major. We're gonna play the notes. We're gonna ignore the rhythms first. We're gonna play each note for 2 beats, and we're still gonna use our metronome at 60, okay? Play with me. 2, here, 4, and 1, 2, here we go. Now let's do it a little faster. Let's try it with the tempo that they want. Sorry, the metronome was annoying. Of 90 beats per minute. And we are going to try to do it with their rhythm. So remember, every time you play an F, which will be 1, 2, 3 times in this scale, you're going to play it for 2 beats each. Let's find those Fs. C string, right? Third finger. And then low 2 on the D. And then finally the last note. So anytime you play one of those notes, it's going to be for 2 beats. Good. Let's turn our metronomes on, or you can use mine if you're playing with me. Okay, I've got it turned to 90. Are you ready? 1, 2, here we go. That was it. It's pretty fast, isn't it? Don't worry if you can't play it at that tempo just yet. Keep working on it nice and slow. And with that, we're going to move on to the final scale for the concert orchestra viola auditions. And this is A major. Now, for A major, let's look at our key signature. Remember, the key signature comes right after the clef to the left at the beginning of each line. Okay, so we have some sharp signs, don't we? We have 3 of them. We have F, C, and G sharp. So what does that mean? Well, for you, that means you're going to be using a high 3 finger pattern, or the half step is going to be between 3 and 4. So your 4th finger is going to be going where it always has been. It's your 3rd finger that's going to feel like it's going to stretch just a little bit. Okay, and your 3rd and 4th fingers should be touching. So let's practice those finger patterns on the G and the D strings, because those are the strings we're going to use for the A major 1 octave scale. Okay, I'm going to set my metronome back down to 60. Okay, and we're going to play our finger patterns. If you remember, we do half notes, then we do quarter notes, and we do eighth notes. We do from open, 1, 2, high 3, 4, and then we go right back down. So we do one string at a time. Let's do it. I'm going to start on the G string, okay? And try to listen carefully for your third finger and make sure that it's matching mine. 1, 2, here we go. Did your C sharp match my C sharp or your third finger? Okay, if not, practice going from second finger to third finger. Just practice dropping that note because it does feel quite different than where your third finger goes when it's on the tape. Okay, let's do the same thing on the D string now. Ready? So our D string notes are going to be open D, right? E, F sharp, G sharp. Remember we had a G sharp in our key signature, so we need a G sharp here. And then fourth finger A, where it's always been, okay? We ready? We're gonna do half notes first, then quarter notes. 1, 2, here we go. Now, you might not realize it, but you actually did play all of the notes in an A major scale with one extra because we don't play the open G. So let's now look at our A major scale, and we're going to play it not with the rhythms that are printed just yet. We're going to use half notes first with our metronome set at 60, okay? We're going to go all the way up and all the way down. Oops, my metronome didn't start. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, let's play A. 4. Now, I will say one thing about using a high 3 finger pattern. It is easier if you set your high third finger down when you're playing a fourth finger. So where would that happen in our scale? When we're going from first finger E and we're going back down the scale to that D, go ahead and put your third finger down with it. That will help. So practice it this way. Play the E and then stop the bow and set 3 and 4 together where they go on the G string. On the G string. And then play it and make sure that you've got those notes in tune. It helps support your fourth finger when you put your third and your fourth fingers down together like that. Okay, that's just a little tip. All right, now we need to play this scale at the tempo they want. So we're going to put our metronome up to 90, and now we are going to use the rhythm here. So every time you play an A, there's only 3 of them. The first finger on the G string, right? This one. And then fourth finger. And back on the G string. When you play one of those notes, you're going to play 2 beats. Don't forget it. Okay, let's turn our metronome to 90. now you should be well on your way to playing all 3 of your scales for the Region 20 concert viola auditions, okay? Now, in the next video, I'm going to be going through each of the excerpts, okay? So, happy practicing.